Okay, lads, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to end on a high note. A fun comedy, okay? We've been hitting you with truth, we've been hitting you with trauma here on the top three choices of this week, but we're ending on a good, positive, fun, fun movie. We've taken you through Brando and Boston, but now we end movie night on a high. Because right now we're about to talk about The Dude. The movie that launched 1,000 bathrobes. Ladies and gentlemen, The Big Lebowski. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say The Dude, oh, believe me, you'll know at the end of this movie. And before you roll your eyes and say, wait, isn't this just about a movie about a guy who bowls and smokes weed? Let me stop you right there. This isn't just a movie. This is The Dude, and The Dude abides, lads. We're going to break this down. We're going to unravel the bowling ball of the plot. We're going to get into toe-cutting, rug theft, white Russians, and the most chilled-out accidental detective in cinema history. And by the end of this, you're either going to rewatch it, or you're finally going to get it. Okay, so what's the big deal about this movie, The Big Lebowski? Right? Simple. This is weird to say. It's actually a movie about nothing that somehow says everything. I mean, it's so stupid in parts. We live in a world like obsessed with goals. Get rich, get famous, get shredded. But, you know, be productive, post about it, optimize your morning routine. What's your 5-year plan, bro? You know, and into the storm of chaos floats the dude. He's not chasing clout. He's not chasing status. He's just trying to bowl, sip his drink, and get his damn rug back. But suddenly, bang! Life intrudes. Some goons piss on his carpet. They've got the wrong Lebowski. There's a kidnapping, a briefcase full of money, porn producers, and all of a sudden this chilled out stoner is neck deep in a Raymond Chandler detective plot he didn't ask for. And he doesn't even get mad. That's the genius of it. And Jeff Bridges, man, is just so good as the dude. The conflict here isn't between good and evil. It's between chaos and calm, because the world's madness and the one man's commitment to just chill the F out. Well, let's give you a bit of background. Sorry, guys. Let's rewind a little bit here. It's 1998. The Coen brothers. Just these guys are just geniuses. Joel and Ethan drop this weird, crazy, zigzagging noir comedy hybrid, maybe, that no one knows what to make of. It's not a hit. In fact, critics are confused. Audiences are like, huh? But then something reels you back into watching this movie. Something happens. The movie, it doesn't die. It gets rewatched, quoted, studied, worshipped. And it turns out The Big Lebowski, it wasn't a movie for the time. I think in many ways it was a movie ahead of its time. And Jeff Bridges, you know, I don't care whatever Bridges has done in his career, like this was the role he was born for. You know, he's won an Oscar for a different movie, but he didn't play the dude, he became him. And, you know, that's not acting, it's channeling. And, you know, John Goodman, oh my God, iconic. I mean, what an absolute loser this guy is in this movie. This is a guy who brings war flashbacks to a bowling alley. He's like a grenade in a bowling shirt. And then there's Donny, sweet, quiet, always confused Donny, played by the late great Steve Buscemi, man. And the man who just wants to understand what the hell is going on, you know. And then you've got Julianne Moore, high art feminist performance artist. She flies into this movie like a hurricane. And we can't forget Sam Elliott, the cowboy narrator, the mustache, the voice of reason, the voice of God here on this. It's, you know, and it's all absurd. It works somehow. Now here's the plot, if you can even call it that. The dude gets mistaken for a millionaire, also called Lebowski. Some thugs pee on his rug, and that rug, my friends, really tied the room together. So the dude wants compensation. That's it. It's the motivation. Just wants his rug back. Then he gets pulled into this labyrinth of chaos, crap, nonsense, fake kidnapping, stolen money, an angry Vietnam vet's sidekick, nihilist with German accents and a pet ferret, porn stars, toe decoding, and all while wearing a bathrobe, jelly sandals, and sipping a White Russian. Now, on paper, this sounds crazy, weird, right? Chaos. But the Coens aren't just screwing around. This is like controlled chaos. Every insane scene, every offbeat character, it's all part of the bigger commentary. And the world is nuts. I think we can all agree to that to some degree. And trying to control it, it can be a trap. So what do? You let it ride. You bowl your frame. You abide. And, the weirdest thing about the Big Lebowski is there's no traditional climax. There's no big car chase, no gunfight, no massive arguing, no moral lesson. Things kind of just spiral and just settle down. The dude doesn't solve the case. He doesn't get the girl. He doesn't get his rug, but he stays the dude. He never breaks. He doesn't try to control the madness. He just goes along with it. And that's the climax, I think, really, right there. In a world of angry people, the dude survives by being himself, always. And he's not chasing winning, he's chasing being. And somehow he becomes the calm eye in the storm of just complete lunacy. And maybe there's some messages and learning life lessons out of this movie, And I think, guys, that's why a lot of us do watch movies, because we want to relate to a character. We want to relate to a scenario. We want to relate to both, right? Or you feel that you've gone through this before, and how would someone else do it? We almost want to look at something on the outside. Maybe we can learn something. And then, of course, if there's movies for pure entertainment. But, the dude is very much us. The world can be chaos. The systems can fall apart. And your carpet's been pissed on. And you put on your robe, you make your drink, and you go bowling. And you don't lose your cool. Because sometimes the world wants you stressed, angry, competitive, distracted. But the Big Lebowski reminds us that it's okay to just be okay. To drift, maybe for a little while. To laugh, to shrug when things go to hell. And for the women listening, this isn't just some stoner bro movie. This is about human absurdity, the madness of men, the weird poetry of pointless traveling journeys, Maude Lebowski is one of the strangest, strongest, most subversive female characters in movies. She's not a love interest. Force of nature. And this movie's not for everyone. It's for everyone. Right? It makes no sense and all the sense in the world. So if you're going through something and it feels like a maze of random BS, maybe take a page out of the dude's book. You'd be surprised. I've met people like the dude. Not as out there, but I've seen people like this. And light it up. Laugh at the chaos. Say, well, yeah, that's like your opinion, man, and keep rolling. Because the rug might be gone, but the dude still is here. Peter. Wow.